The Nintendo Switch 2 is less than 3 days away and the hype is building non-stop. Non-stop information, non-stop content, just overall non-stop. Everyone is so eager to get their hands on this console, myself included. Once I get my hands on this thing, you guys are going to get a lot of content on my part, so stay tuned for future uploads. Unfortunately, I didn't pre-order it, and I don't think I'll be able to because they're all sold out online and stuff like that. But luckily, GameStop was holding a few units of the Switch 2 just for the people who didn't pre-order it online. And they're having a midnight release, which is awesome. And this is just amazing news to hear, and I'm glad GameStop did this because they knew that some of us were not going to be able to pre-order it as soon as the pre-orders went live. So yeah, I'm just happy that GameStop thought ahead, and I think this is going to do them a lot of good, and will just strengthen their reputation a little bit. At other local GameStops, they seem to be having an event different from the other, which is really cool. It says Nintendo Switch 2 launch event. Join us on June 4th, be part of the fun as we celebrate the launch of the highly anticipated Nintendo Switch 2. Then it goes on to say no pre-order, no problem, additional consoles will be available for walk-ins and the pre-ring start at 3 p.m. And then complete trade-ins, pay in full, and secure your place in line. And if you want to save money, it says don't forget to bring your trades to put towards your Nintendo Switch 2, and then at the bottom it says planned events begin at 4, and they're having a little raffle in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Tournament. And another image says the same thing as before, but instead their planned event begins at 11, and they're having a trivia night and food trucks, which I think is really cool. And the last one also begins at 11, but instead of food trucks or a raffle, they have the best Nintendo character costume contest. And it says dress up in the best costume for Switch 2 launch and win a prize. Yahoo! I mean, it's just great to see GameStop actually being involved with the community and doing these events, kind of building up like hype by doing these little activities for the public. So hopefully I'll be able to get one and eventually show it to you guys and fill you in with all the information. And hopefully that's sooner than later. It's not that we didn't get any information on the Switch 2 itself though. We have gotten a lot of, of the Switch titles, gameplay of that, and we've gotten a few videos here and there of the hardware itself. The home screen, the startup animation, etc. And if you haven't seen the animation yet, I'll play it right now. Yeah, that's pretty cool, but that's not all Nintendo was gonna flood us with information in. Okay, shout out to Stealth for the information because we have confirmation that Nintendo will be returning to Summer Game Fest, and this is unusual for them. But we know that Nintendo only shows up to big events like this with something big up their sleeve. So I have very high hopes for this, and also we might be getting a Nintendo Direct on June 5th, which is this Thursday, and the launch date of the Switch 2. Nintendo usually skips over Summer Game Fest, which is kinda odd, but not only are they returning to Summer Game Fest, they're also going to make an appearance at the Game Awards later this year in December, which is crazy because I know with big events, there's big games. The good news is that we at least know that Nintendo is going to be there, and we all know if Nintendo is going to show us anything, that they're not going to let us down. Maybe we'll get that new 3D Mario game that everyone's been waiting for or something, I don't know. Nintendo has given themselves a lot of breathing room when it comes to content due to the Switch 2 itself and everything like that, so I wouldn't be too upset if they were to show us something that we weren't as excited for, like a 3D Mario game or something like that, because they already occupied us with Mario Kart and Donkey Kong and stuff like that. I'm honestly satisfied for Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong alone, and I would be fine if we didn't get anything worth playing at the Summer Game Fest or the Game Awards. That's how excited I am for the Switch 2 in general. I highly doubt they're gonna leave us hanging on those two games, but there's definitely gotta be something up their sleeve. I mean, we already have Kirby Air Riders coming later this year, or early next year. I don't know, I didn't really look at the release date, but as far as I know, that's something we can look forward to in the future. And not to mention all the new content we're gonna get with the Nintendo Switch 1 games getting ported over to the Switch 2, with all the additions and all the new features such as the mouse mini games and Mario Party, stuff like that. It's overall just going to be a fun experience. I think it would be a little different if we were to get a new game on an old console, but we're getting a new game on a new console, which is even better if I'm wording that right. I know I'm going to be putting countless hours into Mario Kart World alone, so I definitely think it will keep us entertained for a long time. Mario Kart 8 was the only Mario Kart game for the last 11 years, and we waited that long, so imagine how long we could wait for something like this game. Don't get me wrong, everything will eventually become old and boring, but I don't think we're going to be able to get to that point of it being boring because of all the content they put in like free roam. That's literally the definition of replayability. And let's not forget the feature that Nintendo added to literally talk to our friends in game chat. It took them long enough, but at least it's here, and that will also definitely keep us entertained. No more Nintendo Switch app or anything like that. It's just gonna be seamless, easy, fun, with no interruptions. And that's the best kind of gaming. I mean, how fun is it gonna be just to ask your friends, hey, you wanna play Mario Kart? Meet me in game chat in 5 minutes. When I was younger, that was the best feeling. When I was on PlayStation and Xbox. And like I said earlier, it took them long enough to incorporate that, but it finally feels like next-gen hardware. All I know is that the Switch 2 is going to change Nintendo as a whole, and moving forward, the future looks very bright. Are you excited for the Switch 2? Let me know down in the comments. I look forward to seeing you all very soon, and I'm doing a giveaway on my channel of a Nintendo eShop gift card, and all you need to do to enter is just like and subscribe and comment, done. That easy. But in general, if you do enjoy my videos, be sure to like and sub, it does mean a lot. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a blessed day, guys. Peace.